Hey there, it's Desiree. I'm excited Desiree Stafford, by the way, in case you are not familiar with me yet. I'm excited about this topic. This is really for you if you are feeling stuck at six figures. So you've already, passed the 100K, maybe you're even at 250K, but you feel stuck, you can't get to the next level. Or if you are close to six figures and you've been, close to six figures for quite some time, but you've not really gotten over the threshold. And maybe you're feeling like in order to get to your next level, maybe you're thinking that you have to go bigger in terms of audience, right? Maybe you think that you have to attract thousands of leads and work with hundreds of clients in order to get to the level that you desire to get to. And I want to stress to you that you do not have to do that. Now, there are some people who like big, right? They love to spend tens of thousands of dollars on ads. They love to run these big events. They love to work with hundreds of clients at a time. And there's no shame in that. If that's your thing, more power to you, but this video is not going to serve you. This video is really for folks who want to have the bigger income, who want to have a bigger impact, yet they also enjoy working with their clients very high touch, like I do. So my group programs are typically very intimate, right? Because I love to work with my clients. I love to work with people in a way that no one gets left behind, right? You can certainly have a big business and when I say big, I mean in terms of the size of clients, the size of your team, those kind of things. I'm not talking about monetarily, because you can have a business that has, a handful of people working in it and, a smaller group of clients and still make the kind of money that people are making with these larger businesses, if that makes any sense, all right? So if you are someone who desires to, take your business to $500,000, $1 million or above, and you don't want to have all these moving parts, you don't want to have to work with, thousands of clients or hundreds of clients at a time, you don't want to, have a huge team, like if you're someone like me and you don't enjoy managing a team of people, then you're going to actually get a lot of value from this video, all right? Hey, Sazu, how are you? Hey, everybody. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Monique. Hey, Cap, Anita, Stacy, Judith. Okay, awesome. So glad you guys are here. So I'm going to get into this because I think it's really important to understand that there's different ways to grow and scale your business, all right? What I see a lot of people do, a lot of mistakes that people are making, is that, again, they think that in order to get to the next level, they've got to add all these layers to them. And what actually, when I say layers, I mean layers of access. So they think, okay, well, if I want to have a bigger business, I have to, host a huge event, and then I have to bring people into one program, and then I have to take them from another program and move them into another program and move them and move them and move them. And so what they're actually doing is making it much harder for the clients who really need access to the level of training that they need immediately. It's harder for them to get access to that. Because there's so many different layers of programs that they're taking people through. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different way of growing a business. And from what I've seen, it's a way to really burn yourself out if that is not the type of business model that you're aligned with, right? I would not be aligned with a business model like that. I've had many clients come to me wanting to really get rid of some of those excess, what would I call it? Layers of their businesses. Right? Because they are so overwhelmed, they're so consumed by their businesses, and they're actually making less money now than they were before they added all of those pieces. So I have a great example of someone that came to work with me, or desired to work with me actually, not that long ago, and she was at around $250,000, and she's, famous in her niche. She has tons of followers. She's got, I think, like an academy and certification programs and all this stuff. And there's so many different programs that she had. And she was making less money at 250K than she was at 100K, right? Because she had added huge team. She had added expenses for ads. She added expenses for these big events. She added all kinds of expenses. So she was less profitable, although she was making more revenue. Right? And I see this happen over and over and over again, especially when people get to the $100,000 mark. They think that in order to get to seven figures, well, I've got to add all this stuff. I've got to do all of these things to make myself look like I'm ready for seven figures instead of actually feeling ready for that next level, okay? So what I would advise you to do, if you don't want to go that route and you actually want to increase your revenue and your income, then here's what I would recommend that you do, all right? The first thing is remove all of the layers that are unnecessary. Really think about some of the expenses that you have in your business. Are they necessary, right? You can run group programs without having assistant coaches. Do you need them, right? And if you do, figure out whether or not what they're costing you is worth the results your clients are getting, right? Think about some of the expenses you have in your business. Are you running ads right now that are maybe not converting? Is that an area that you need to shift in terms of your communication, in terms of your marketing? Is there another way that you can get your message out there to the right people without having that expense if the ads are not converting? What are some of the other expenses in your business that you don't need right now? Start to pay attention to those things, and start to pay attention to the extra layers that might be in your business that can possibly go away. It's going to not only save you money, right? Like, it's not only going to allow you to keep more money in your pocket, but it's also going to save you time and energy and effort, right? So really think about all the things that you don't need. A lot of folks think that, if they want clients to invest a higher dollar amount, that they have to take them through these lower end programs and then work the clients up an ascension model. But that's not the case. It doesn't have to be that way. There are ways, if you desire to, work with clients at a higher level, then you can take them right into that higher level program, right? You don't have to start them at the bottom and then baby step them up, all right? So the next thing I want you to think about is how many offers you have, and do you need all of those offers? If we're talking about simplifying your business and making it easier on you, then you probably don't need all the different offers that you have right now. What I always recommend for my clients is that we have one main thing, like your one main offer. This is your flagship offer, right? The thing that you want most of the people who are coming to enroll in right away, right? And then you want to have an upsell and a downsell. You want the upsell so that when people are ready to renew with you, there's something to invite them to step into. You want the downsell for people who, maybe need some prep in order to be ready for your main thing, your flagship offer, right? So that's what I'd recommend. No more than 3 offers. You can really get away with only 2 offers, but no more than 3, all right? Recently, I've been looking for a stylist in the LA area. And so I've been going to different people's websites and things like that. And there was one website, I don't remember her name, but I just remember how overwhelmed I felt when I got to her site. She had like 10 different offers. And when I see all of that, I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna go through and read all of this shit, right? Just give me 3 things. Like, what are my 3 options, right? Like, when a mind is confused, when we are overwhelmed, we don't buy. And it's the same thing for you. If you're confused, if you're overwhelmed, you're not gonna sell well, right? You wanna be able to put your energy and effort into one main offer, and then of course you have your upsell and your downsell, instead of having 10 different offers to try to sell people into, okay? The last thing I want you to focus on is organic lead generation, all right? Now, this probably sounds counterintuitive. I know, again, what I mentioned earlier, a lot of people think that if they want to grow their business, that they have to have a bigger audience, and that's not true. You can have a healthy, multiple 6-figure business, 7-figure business with a smaller audience, depending upon, your pricing structure, depending upon the programs that you're offering, and how things are, how you've designed your business. So please don't think that in order to get to your next level, that you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on ads. There's nothing wrong with ads, and I recommend you can do that, but especially when you're at a stage where you're up-leveling, this also means you're typically up-leveling the clients that you serve. You want to make sure you nail your message organically before you start spending money on ads, because if you don't do that, you're going to waste a shit ton of money, and then you're going to get burnt out on ads and think they don't work. But it could be that your message isn't solidified yet in order for you to actually get a converting, ad campaign, right? So I want you to think about that before you think about, oh, I have to go so much bigger in order to get to my next level. Think about, what is the simplest way for you to get to your next level, the least expensive way for you to get to your next level, because this is about profitability, right? It's not about looking good with huge revenue. It's about how much, you're able to keep out of what it is that you're making, right? Because if you have big revenue and you have little income, you're not able to really take care of yourself in the way that you desire, your business will not survive, right? So it's important that we're not just looking at the revenue, but we're also looking at what it is that you get to keep, right? You've been in business for a while. You've put a lot of effort into what you do. You're probably at the stage where you're wanting to put more away into savings or retirement. Maybe you're thinking about aging parents and who's going to take care of them and how you're going to be able to provide for them if that's what you feel is your responsibility. Maybe you have kids going off to college, or maybe you're just starting your family, right? You need cash for all these things. You need cash to, buy the bigger house, to buy the newer car, to do any of the things that you really desire to do. Because if your business is running you to the point where it doesn't serve you, where it's like you're constantly putting in all your energy and effort, but you're not getting much out of it financially, right? It's not just about money, but you do need to feel financially rewarded from the effort that you're putting into your business. And if you don't feel that, then your cup is not full. It's going to be difficult for you to really serve your clients powerfully and for you to lead the way you desire to lead if you are not at the same time feeling like you're receiving something back from your business. So it's important that you focus on your profitability. All right. Now I'm going to open up for any questions if anyone has any. So Anita says, hell yes, simplicity. Thanks for the video. Awesome. All right. Sazu says, profit gets totally lost. Yes, simplicity and higher fees. Absolutely. Hey, Lamora. Hey, Ginger. How are you? And thanks for the inviting people, Ginger. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Grace. All right. Does anyone have any questions about this? Because I think this is really important. Thanks, Sazu, for highlighting that. Profit is important, so is simplicity. I believe that we can make more the more simple our business is, because there's not a lot of cracks for things to fall through, right? So if you can simplify your business, which is one of the things I am a big proponent of, and then you can cut out some of your expenses. You only have a couple of offers that you're sharing with people. Also, when you do that, your marketing can be much more laser focused to the right clients. Your main thing, that's who you want to be marketing to. Like your main thing, whoever the ideal client is for that, those are the people that you want to be marketing to all of the time. Just market to your ideal clients, right? And then, of course, there will be some clients who come through your main program and then they're going to want to renew with you. Then they go to your upsell, right? Then there are also going to be people who may not be quite ready yet to be your ideal client. They would go into your downsell. That's how simple it can be. So you don't have to think about a new campaign every quarter and all the kind of things that I see a lot of people doing that, to me, overcomplicate a business when it can really be simple. I think one of the reasons we overcomplicate, though, is because, number one, we don't believe that we can really be successful with simplicity, right? Because we've been taught to believe that everything is about hard work and effort. And don't get me wrong, there is some work that you have to put into this, but it doesn't have to feel like a drag. It doesn't have to feel like a drain, right? Another reason why I think that a lot of people don't believe in simplicity is because it's boring, right? We want to feel entertained. We want to feel like, we're striving, it's our determination that's making us move forward. And you can do all of those things and still have a simple business. But so many of us, we get bored. We think, oh my gosh, it's so simple. And it's almost like we will unconsciously sabotage ourselves. Like we'll break something, try to make it harder than it needs to be. And if you can adopt the idea that basically anything in life can be simple, not just your business, but also your relationships, right? Anything can be simple. We often complicate them unknowingly because we have almost like this, we almost romanticize struggle, all right? I will tell you from my personal experience, I grew up doing that. Like all of my first hero was my grandmother, and she struggled, okay? My mother struggled. So like in my mind, when you struggle and you persevere and you pull through, then you're a hero, right? And then all the other people that I looked up to, like famous people that I looked up to, they all struggled. They all had these rags to riches stories. I have my own rags to riches story, but I don't believe that it always has to be that way. And there's nothing wrong with going through what you've gone through. I mean, that's how we grow, right? So there is some struggle in that. There is some sacrifice also in that. However, if you are so attached to the struggle that when you get yourself to a point where it can be easy, you pretty much like earn your stripes and you still refuse to let it be easy, then is where you have an issue, because then you're going into self-sabotaging behavior, right? One of the things that I see a lot of times when people, again, have already crossed the 6-figure mark, and even when they're getting close to there, then comes the self-sabotaging behavior, right? So be mindful of all of these things. Really pay attention to everything that you're doing in your business. And make sure that those things are in alignment with where you're wanting to go, and you're not overcomplicating things for the sake of overcomplicating things, right? Because I'm sure there's people in your family, there are other people in your life who want to spend more time with you, who probably can't right now because you're so busy with your business. All right, so Akina says, I think that going deeper can be simple, but serve the client. Tell me what you mean more by that, or tell me more about what you mean by that. All right, because I think I get you, but I want to make sure I'm clear. I think one thing I want to add to that, if this is what you're talking about, I personally love working with clients in an intimate way. I totally get that, our clients are responsible for their results. However, I feel a sense of responsibility to make sure that no client gets left behind. When my programs are intimate, I can see, I know all of my clients, I know what's going on with them, I can call them out on shit, right? When people are in larger programs, like, programs where there's like hundreds of clients, it is so easy to get lost in those programs. People can't see you because there's so many other people, right? I've been in those kind of programs, and it was like 5 people who were always on the phone asking their questions, and the other, let's say 250 of us were not, right? It's so easy for people to get lost in those environments. And for me, I'm helping clients really transform. I'm helping my clients step into their leadership, really own their power and their value, and, come out like the woman that they were born to be. So in my opinion, it's very important for me to make sure that I'm aware of where my clients are in that process, right? Because that's scary stuff. And if, someone invests in working with me, and, I'm leading them to the water and they're just about to drink, and then some fear or something, comes up for them and they start sliding backwards, I want to be able to see that, right? So I can provide as much support as I can. So that's one of the reasons why I like to work with clients intimately. All right. So, and I personally think that you can go deeper with clients when you do that. All right. So Sazu says, oh my God, yes, you can make so much more. Yes. I liked always having one program and do occasional weekend workshops. That's awesome. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Okay, so Akina says, meaning that expanding how you help based on creating solutions that possibly created a service for them. Yeah, I believe so. I think I get what you're saying. So awesome. Does anyone have any questions or comments, anything before I wrap up? And by the way, while you guys are formulating your questions, if you're wanting to scale your business more profitably, let's connect. I can teach you how to simplify things. I can teach you how to create the higher end programs, how to do the marketing, all the kind of things that you need in order to be able to scale your business and remain profitable. Instead of, what most people are doing, like I said, throughout this entire video, which is adding on all these expenses and adding on all these different layers into their business that overcomplicate things, that take a lot of time and energy, and also really cost them in terms of their bottom line. All right. And Sazu, I'm sure, will post the link to that. It's going to be DesireeStafford.com/session to get on my calendar. So I would love to talk to you if you would like some support with that. All right, cool. Anything else before I go? You guys got me. So ask away. If not, I'm going to wrap up because I do have something that I need to get to. So I'm going to give you another minute or two. Formulate your questions. Or ask for any feedback. It's an open forum. Maybe I shouldn't have said minute or two because I'm thinking in my head, going once, going twice. So maybe I shouldn't have said that. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap right now. If you have any questions, if anything comes up for you, post them in the comment below. If you would like to connect with me for a free session, Sazu just posted the link, which is awesome. So connect or click there and we can connect. And until we speak, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and your business. Take care, guys. Bye.